This is Fox at 5.
Ready to strike.
It broke my heart when I found out that the patient had died. And
one nurse's plea to help patients.
The countdown is on. Thousands of nurses are ready to walk off the job this week if their demands aren't met.
And Fox 9's Scott Wasserman's live at nurses' headquarters in St. Paul. So, Scott, why are they saying it's important they get what they're asking for?
Well, here at the Nursing Association, they really are concerned about patient safety and the staffing levels. That's why they've got these picket signs ready to go on for Thursday, just in case. Now, they're also trying to get their message out, saying they're not sure if the public really understands why they want to strike. That's why recently the union solicited what they call horror stories from nurses and patients so that they can get their side out.
I've only been a nurse for 3 years, and I'm already thinking of leaving the profession.
This nurse telling her story about a night shift in a large Twin Cities hospital where she recently cared for 5 patients at once, one who needed to be in the ICU to get the right medication.
There wasn't an RN-staffed ICU bed available.
She claims it took 4 hours to get the patient moved, then later found out he died. While she admits they will never know if getting the patient to the ICU earlier would have saved him, she believes it would have given him a better chance.
What it is, it's just so frustrating when you try to do your best with the resources you have available, but there still isn't enough there.
It's the tip of the iceberg, though. I mean, there are thousands of these stories out there.
Fox 9 obtained a copy of 70 nurse and patient stories that will be released by the union in a news conference tomorrow. They hope the stories get the public's attention. They include a patient with chest pains waiting 20 minutes for help, a dying patient sitting in his own feces because a nurse didn't have enough help to clean him up, a nurse arriving to work and told, "It's just you and me" for 13 patients, and one nurse who finished her shift and resigned, saying the patients are definitely at risk.
Our nurses really feel like they've been forced to this point, that the public to this point doesn't understand just how dangerous and how bad it is inside the hospitals.
And the actual outcomes for Twin Cities hospitals are that our patients are well served, that we have good quality care at our hospitals.
The nurses are proposing specific staff-to-patient ratios, depending on how sick the patients are in a specific unit.
But when we look at something like those measures, and it doesn't improve the quality of care, and it adds hugely to the cost, millions of dollars every year, it makes no sense for us to go down that road.
But those on the front lines are willing to take a stand, believing staffing ratios are costing lives.
I'm worried that I don't have the resources available to help me when I have a patient that gets into trouble.
Now, it's important to note out of the 70 stories here, many of the nurses have reported their concerns to the hospitals where they occurred. In fact, the union gets about 1,200 official reports a year. It's also important to note that there are several thousand more, the union says, that go unreported because the nurses fear retaliation. That is why we held the identity of that nurse we talked with. Coming up at 5:30, where we are with the talks and what could happen at the hospitals if there is a strike come Thursday. For now, we're back to you.
All right, Scott. A shooting in New Brighton Sunday sends 4 people to the hospital.